Bassem al-Halabi, you're fired. Thank you.
Protesters called today for a Muslim professor at Florida Atlantic University to be fired. Good evening, everyone. I'm Jay Cashmere.
And I'm Shannon Cake. Protesters are accusing this professor of having ties to those who support terror.
The professor and his bosses say he is not going anywhere. News Channel 5's Michael Williams joins us with the latest on this war of words. Michael?
Good evening. FAU professor Bassem al-Halabi says he will become an American citizen soon, a better one, he says, than his chief accuser.
They marched in front of FAU in Boca Raton, several dozen protesters making their case.
Bassem al-Halabi, you're fired.
That is Joe Kaufman. He heads a group called Americans Against Hate. He and a congregation called the Church of All Nations offered a laundry list of charges against this man, FAU engineering professor Bassem al-Halabi. They say he had ties to Sami al-Arian, the former professor at the University of South Florida who pleaded guilty in 2006 to having connections to a terrorist group.
He was with al-Arian at a time when al-Arian was beginning to create an Islamic Jihad infrastructure.
Not so, says Professor al-Halabi, who's been at FAU since 1996 and was surrounded by his own supporters on campus. Al-Arian, he concedes, was his advisor back when he was a student, but their work together was technical and done 20 years ago.
But what I know is what I published with Sami was technical, and it was contribution to the Defense Department.
Protesters are unconvinced.
I don't want to see the young kids be brainwashed into thinking that what this man is teaching is something that's good.
We do not dislike Muslims, and we are not, vocal against their religion. What we are is vocal against those that are connected to terrorism.
Their professor says Kaufman is simply out to get him, and students say the charges are ridiculous.
I've been my professor for 2 classes now. I've known him for over 3 years. He has not taught anything related to violence or terrorism in any classes.
And al-Halabi notes he will proudly become an American citizen soon.
I will be a much better American citizen than himself because I paid all my dues. In the past 30 years, I contributed so much to the country, to the state of the art of engineering, to my students, to my research, and I deserve to live the American dream.
And FAU stands firmly in support of Professor al-Halabi, noting he's never been found guilty of any criminal activity and saying those calling for his dismissal, and I'm quoting here, are either uninformed or deliberately misrepresenting the truth. Michael Williams, WPTV News Channel 5.